the first time I felt like my mom saw me as a man and not a boy.
It's like
She accepted the decision I had made, and I was like, whoa, this is wild.
And that's when you come to terms with like your children being their own person.
Yeah.
It's like then you can start becoming happy for who they want to be.
Yeah. We're resilient.
Hey everybody, so just a little warning that this audio in this video for some reason starts doing some weird stuff. So, I hope you still enjoy it as I enjoyed recording it. It was still a good conversation. Alright, here we go.
This is wild.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Unperishable Podcast. It's your boy Parish in all caps, but no cap. Remember that. And today, I have a very special friend, an artiste, a curator, a very lovely friend as well. Like,
Oh, very nice.
very knows how to do friendships is what I'll say. A great photographer, has a great eye.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain can't think of anything more. But
Those are cool.
a magnificent Pisces.
Yeah, these are all my pronouns.
We got my guy Curtis.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So you were about to tell me something about the Jackson 5. What did you say?
Oh, yes. So
You
I
found out
saw
something
this story yesterday where, so Randy was with his wife or whatever, and it didn't work out. A couple months later, Jermaine gets with her, and Jermaine got 2 kids with her now.
And they're still together?
I think they still together.
That's weird as hell to me.
But you ain't hear that from me.
I'm not gonna lie. Anytime, like, even within, I know some people can date within friend groups and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I know it happens. But just for me, it's a no-go. Like, if I know you was with my homie,
Right.
and now you with me, that's just kind of weird. But especially if you was with my brother,
Yeah. Brother is wild.
like that's really, really.
Yo, we
crazy.
about to take a turn because that just makes me think about, we about to get mad serious, but
Go ahead.
when people speak about like the Bible and they talk about like gay people and how it's a sin,
Yeah.
like people never mention that the Bible also speaks about lusting over like
Women.
not even women, but just like close proximity. Like the Bible also talks about that, but people are just like, gay is a sin, and it's like the word also says like your brother, partner, your family, like people don't mention the other relationships that exist in the world. So that's interesting.
Because weird, because it also says like that one story about the dude who had to, I forget the names.
It's okay.
Either way,
Just as a
but
story.
the in the story where the guy married a woman, he died, and then they were obligated. His younger brother was obligated to marry his brother's wife.
Yeah.
But then he didn't want to.
Yeah.
And then God smote his ass for it for some reason.
Yeah.
And then his other brother had to, they was like, all right, fine. Well, since he died, you got to do it. And then God smote his ass for some reason too.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's a little bit more weird than being gay. It's like, I don't want to fuck my brother's ex-wife. I don't want to impregnate her. Like, leave me alone, God, please.
Yeah.
Don't
leave
smite
me alone,
me.
God is perfect.
Don't smite me.
But also that's very like Old Testament stuff. So
Yeah.
God was just trying to get enough people on the land.
Yeah.
We trying to get.
Yeah.
Bro, this don't got nothing to do with you.
That's Q1 of business. He's trying to get it all working.
I just need enough niggas on this land so I could really do.
Right.
So my son could really. Jesus about to.
Right. So when we rebrand, y'all gonna be ready for the rebrand.
But if y'all don't do
this,
Jesus ain't gonna be able to save nobody.
Okay, I got
But
you.
yeah, that's Old Testament shit. We don't do that no more.
That was the old branding.
Yeah.
Jesus came, he did a rebrand. It's a new
Testament
God,
is
a new
no
Christianity.
bro stuff, like
Yeah.
bro code. But some people really don't care. Some people don't care. And to each their own.
Yes, some
To each
people
their
don't.
own. To each their own.
But
I don't
yeah.
relationship shame.
I don't. It's just for me, I could understand the dynamics of that. Unless you're not really close with your brother.
Yeah.
Or, you're not even really going to be in the proximity of them. But
Yeah.
I feel like that the interrelational dynamic, if that's a word. With between all of them, to me, that would be a bit much.
Yeah.
It's just
I think that also speaks to me. And I don't know about like your love life in depth like that, but I think that also speaks to maybe the way you love. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people also have rules based on how they love. So like niggas that are not really doing that much for the girl really don't care because they know they didn't give her 100%. So they like, my bro could give you 90 or something. You know what I mean? But if you sound like a guy who knows he gives 100 or 110. So it's like, if I give 110, don't even go near my shit.
Well,
which makes sense.
The other thing too is like you were my sister-in-law before you were my wife. If you were married to my brother too. So y'all two have a certain relationship together. But now you go from being my brother's wife or even partner to now being my wife and his sister-in-law. And now that I don't know, it's how does that work? Right. You know what I'm saying?
All of these questions are valid.
I know it can work, and for anyone where that has happened to, and I know there's always
exceptions to the rule.
There's always caveats. There's always like
for sure.
Some people know how to make shit work.
Some people even put it in their will too. You know, like some people, like if their partner knows that they're dying or something. Sometimes people do give the permission. That's why we can't relationship shame. But all the questions that you have around the close proximity is like, all those questions are valid. And then it's like, imagine how gay people. It's like, y'all niggas is worried about two strangers meeting, and y'all niggas is like you said. You just fell in love with your sister-in-law,
right?
And you worried about me.
See, that's why I couldn't. That's why I don't know about giving. Like, of course, if I'm dead, my wife can do whatever she wants to, but I don't know about giving people permission. I understand why the pharaohs buried their wives with them in the tomb. It's like, nah, bitch, you coming back with me to the afterlife. Or like how Mormons, like they seal wives or whatever. In the, it's like that. Like, I'm sealing you to me.
Yeah, no,
and I'm, I understand why. But
no, for sure. My uncle passed many years ago, and his gravesite is actually not too far from where I live now. And my aunt already has brought the station right next to him. So when her time comes, she's going to be by his side. She's not playing, because in the afterlife, babe, I'll meet you.
Right.
She's like, I'll see you over there. You're mine.
I understand, and of course I'm being a little facetious. Like my wife could do whatever the fuck she wants to when I die, but
baby, if you're listening, just be in love with me.
I don't get. I mean, I don't know about giving anybody permission.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that seems weird to me. I don't know,
but that's why.
Is what it is.
And so this is like a shameless plug, but in my latest poetry book, I write this. There's a poem called I Don't Know. I think it's called I Don't Know, and it basically is like a short poem. It's about how a friend told me that relationships were not about control,
right?
And I mentioned how ever since they told me that, I've been confused ever since. To your point of like permission. Yeah. Like permission is adjacent to control, even if you have the best intentions. Exactly. And that's why I've been confused, because it's like, even when you're not trying to be controlling, there's just these things. Because what happened was they're poly. And their partner was going on a date. And I was just so curious. I'm like, oh my God, this is fun. And they're like, yeah, they have a date later, and then I'm gonna like see them after, whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. What if they have a great date? I was like, what if they like kiss on the date? Like, what if they have? And they looked at me and no hesitation or nothing, and they just said, I don't control them. And I said, oh, I've been doing this all wrong. And again, it's not that I'm like, you can't be your own person, but it's also like, what does my partner being their own person looks like in relationship with me? Also, that was many years ago, and a lot of life has happened.
Right.
I'm still confused, but I know a lot. I know a lot more than I did then. But it doesn't neglect that I'm definitely confused about things. But when you say like permission, I'm just like, dang, somebody would have been here like, who says you can't? What is the permission you have over her? And it's like, dang, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not telling her what to wear.
Right.
I want her to love me. Even when I'm not here. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Man, I wonder if it looks a little choppy.
That's funny.
But no.
The breakdance is so good. Make sure you use that as a clip.
I got to.
That was the...
I'm still trying to figure out how all this shit works with the podcast. But anyway,
it's okay.
No, but with
It works.
As far as what you're saying, yes, like that's the one thing of like getting married, like where people will always talk about like not wanting to because, or whenever I tell them I'm married and they're like, oh, you gave up your freedom or you gave up your
people
whatever.
Say that to you?
Some people, yeah, they're like, oh, I don't want to give, that up to somebody or whatever. And it's like, well, I never got married to give up myself to anyone either. And I didn't ask my wife to marry me so that she can give herself up to me either. It's more about, because, I mean, to be honest, like, because some people say this too, like marriage is a contract, it is an agreement, but every relationship is an agreement.
It absolutely
and
is.
if from a friendship to a business relationship to a partnership, you're agreeing on whatever basis, if that is poly, if that is marriage, if you just want to not be married but stay together, a business partner, you're saying
they're relationships.
And it requires you knowing about yourself, your partner knowing, and then understanding those boundaries.
Yeah.
But then even when you know that, because people change and people grow, you just never know what's going to come, later on down the line. So I decided, like, this is someone that I really gel with. I jive with. She gels with me. I think we work well together.
Y'all work so well together.
We have good values. I think we have, a lot that we could do together.
As a viewer, sorry, not to cut you off, but as a viewer of your relationship, it's like you're having fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And fun doesn't mean that it's easy. I don't know y'all love story like that, but it's like you can just tell when people like each other. And sometimes people don't like each other, and they're with people they don't like.
I say that also, all the fucking time.
To your point of what you were saying about, like, the freedom, I don't want to give them a freedom. You don't have freedom. Like, meaning, like, I can tell that on a day-to-day basis, you don't have freedom. Like, you're not giving yourself permission to live. Because if you were giving yourself permission to live every day, you're not worried about someone coming into your life, and no one can take something from you that you don't give them.
Right.
You feel me? So,
no, exactly. 100%.
Oh my God, I hate when I say profound stuff like that because I do not listen to my own advice. I've let people take stuff from me.
That's the plight of the human condition.
Oh my God, I've let people take so many things from me. That's so funny.
The plight of the human condition is that we always got so much to say to everybody else or to the world or whatever, but then when it comes to us, we just cannot fucking get it.
That's
so
true.
Saying? But
no, you're so right. That's
you're 100% right. Because one of the things that I was talking to, me and my wife were talking about, was like on discipline or getting self-control, like all these things. Like when it comes to
this is literally God. Go ahead, you finish.
Okay, God.
And I'm gonna tell you something about discipline that I just learned about myself the other day. But go.
Oh, okay.
I want you to finish.
So what I was telling her was that, like, actually I was talking to Kojo about this first too, and then
shout out to Kojo.
I was talking to her about it, where we were discussing being musicians, and I was saying, like, I was equating discipline to freedom. I was trying to explain to him how I think discipline is freedom.
Yeah.
Because when think about this, as a musician or photographer or artist, when you first start off doing something, you don't know what you're doing, right? So as a musician, I had to learn the instrument.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to play it. I had ideas. I had thoughts. I saw people do the thing, and I wanted to do it. The more I learned how to do it, the more freedom I had to express what I wanted to on the instrument.
Absolutely.
So when you see someone who has a mastery of their instrument, like, man, they're just so great at the piano or so great at the organ or so great at the guitar. That was years and years of discipline and self-control and practice and getting it down to be able to have the freedom to move in the way they want to. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And I equate that same thing to life. If I want to have freedom to do certain things, then my life also has to look a certain way. And it takes discipline and structure in order for me to fulfill those things and have the freedom to get the things that I want. You know what I'm saying? And because ultimate freedom is to do what you want. Yeah. But if you don't know how to do what you want, then you can't do what you want.
Shout out to Jill Scott. The famous Jill Scott once said, the prophet said, if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, then you cannot tell me what to do. But to your word about discipline, I literally just learned this about myself the other day, like legit. So, oh my God, this interview is so okay.
Listen, I never know where these things are gonna go. I just talk, and then it goes.
Yeah, but I just learned that. So I haven't had sex since 2017, and in that time, I've learned a lot about discipline. A lot about sexuality and a lot about intimacy. And so I have a threshold of discipline to be intimate, knowing that it has an ending, like knowing that it doesn't lead to this.
Right.
What I've learned recently is that my threshold is not the threshold of someone else. So just because I engage in an intimate moment with someone, knowing what I know, knowing my experience, knowing my discipline, their discipline is not the same. And so our moment of intimacy means more. It requires more of them the next day. I can do all those. I can show up fully in an intimate moment and be like, all right, so text me tomorrow. Like, chill. And they're like, no, what is, like, how do I then show up for someone who was just that committed to the moment we had that was, special, intimate, but it's my level of discipline, but also my level of freedom. Like what you said, I am free in my body, in my sexuality, in my intimacy, to have a boundary that most people do not have. And so moving forward, I literally just learned this. So moving forward, I now have to maybe ask some more questions also to the word discipline, set harder boundaries on myself, right? Just because I can go there, I can't go there. I have to wait. I have to wait again or in another version of this. I may not be having sex, but my intimacy may have to wait now. And I never considered that because, again, we live in this world that is very sexual driven. We live in this OnlyFans world, right? And so even without knowing, it's like sex is all around us. People are being intimate. People are being fluid. People are being active, right? As we call it, sexually active. And even with me not being sexually active, there is still an active part of me that everyone is not disciplined in. Yeah. And I literally just learned this. And the fact that you're bringing this up is crazy. And now I'm saying it on tape. and everyone can hear it.
Well, the crazy thing, like, because self-discipline, like, I think a lot of people have an idea of self-discipline. Like, oh, let me go work out. Let me go to work. Let me save my money. Let me go to bed on time. Stuff like that, right?
Yes.
And it's like all of that is a part of the self-discipline too. But then like there's deeper parts of self-discipline, which is, especially once you start knowing yourself, and it's knowing what's not just generally good, but what's good for you.
Yeah.
And what you need. And that might not be what everyone else needs or is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's difficult because us as human beings, we thrive off of what people are doing around us. You know what I'm saying? That's why we go to churches, or we go to schools, or we go to community group outings and stuff.
Or
because
therapy. Yeah, we need to talk.
We need the connection of the people that are around us doing similar things and reflecting that back to us, you know? But sometimes, even when that's not happening, it's the self-discipline is to know what you need, even when no one else around you has the same need. You know what I'm saying? And people may be there to support you, but sometimes no one knows what to support if you're not being disciplined enough in yourself to do the things you know you need to do.
Or be able to admit it too, right? Like, I didn't have to share that. But that's a part of that hard work. People are like, oh, you're so inspiring, you're so motivating. I'm afraid. I fuck up. I have to admit that I don't know what I'm doing, but I want something really bad.
Right.
That takes a lot of balls.
Right.
That takes a lot of balls. And then all they see is a 5x5 square. They see a photo, they see a caption, and it's like,
oh, wow.
I am crying in the shower, trying to figure out how to go to the next hour.
People see the word, but they don't see how you got there. So, the motivation that you received in order to give to somebody, they're just seeing it as the motivation, and it's good to them, and they eat it up, and they go, now I can go on my
full
day, and I feel good.
And I'm like, I'm starving for help. I'm starving for help. And they're like, I'm so full from that video you posted. I'm glad it helped you.
Right. And now you're like, well, you don't know what it took for me to even get to the revelation. You don't know what it took for me. Come on, I wish I had that organ.
Yeah. Even for you
don't know what it took for me to get I came to this conclusion after solving the problem. Right. That there was a problem.
Also, after being the problem. Sometimes you have to be... I am the problem sometimes. Like, we are the problem, Right. But again, we live in a social media world that doesn't, you don't have to take accountability and say, like, I'm not communicating as well, so why would this relationship last? Or I'm playing the games everyone else is playing, so, we're not being fruitful, like, in our own way. We're, like, trying to follow this standard or listening to what other people are doing, but that stuff is not working.
Right.
And people are single. And another thing, unpopular opinion, a lot of people are lonely. And we see that.
Yeah.
We see that. Like with YouTube, on YouTube, I don't know if that trend is still happening, but it was a lot of videos a couple of months ago where people were like, I don't have friends and it's fine. Girl, it's not fine.
But why don't you? And I think that's
what I'm saying. Are you a nice person?
Right. Do you is it because of something you're doing? Is it maybe you need to go to a new area? Maybe you need to find a new group. Maybe the things you think you're interested in are not really your interests. Maybe maybe you need to share more, be more vulnerable. Right. Because that's how you get friends.
Like, even in your intro, thank you again, but like, you speaking to my character as a friend, we haven't known each other that long.
Not at all.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't take much to figure that out. Right. But people are afraid of being seen. And I get it, because you don't know what people are going to, again, like we said about the earlier, people take, people can only take what you give them. But I do think the whole and it's the entire definition of vulnerability, but it's like there's a word for someone watching, but there are some parts of you that you have to be willing to give to others.
Mm-hmm.
Some parts of us we gonna have to give up, and
Yeah.
they might not take care of it. How many times have you given somebody a shirt
Mm-hmm.
and they shrink it, or they give a food stain on it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because the other part of freedom, discipline, self-control is knowing when you don't have control and when you need to give that up.
Shout out to God.
There are things there are times where you have to give things, like you said, out. So I mean, especially as artists, we kind of confront this on a daily basis.
All the
You know,
time.
because we create a lot of things, we try our best, we do what we know, and then we have to give it up.
Yeah.
Because even though it's my creation, it's not.
It doesn't belong
for
to
me,
you.
unless I'm just making this for me to listen to at home, you know, or for me to look at in my house.
For
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? But if I'm creating something for other people to consume, then I have no control over what they do with it. And then the only way you're going to, like you were saying, sometimes gather the people around you that you need, the proper friends and associates.
Yeah.
And especially, I think a lot of people don't put a lot of importance on friends.
Yeah.
I know family is very important. And of course, family is important to me. I have a family.
You have
but
a family. A beautiful one.
Friends are, thank you.
Yeah.
Friends are very important.
For sure.
Nothing
without
like they
community.
say, they're the family you choose.
Yeah, chosen family, for
So
sure.
why would you choose to be around something that you don't fuck with?
Because you don't have to grow.
Right.
People don't want to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're not giving anything, like you have to put something out. It's all a gamble.
It's
you
a
know,
deposit.
It's all a risk.
Yeah, deposit.
When you put something out, a couple of people might, if you want to call it a deposit, if I put the deposit down, a couple people might spend it wrong. A couple people might abuse, you know, whatever. But eventually, I'm going to find the person that's willing to also deposit into the same account.
Absolutely.
And give properly and use it properly. And now I have my crew. But it took, like you were saying, opening up and giving to other people so that now I can find exactly what I need, you know.
For sure,
but
I need.
It's all a risk, and a part of it is opening up, you know. Even with being married or doing like this, I don't know what the future holds, but even when I got married, it could have went all bad, you know.
For sure.
We both were taking a gamble.
You sign up.
You know, you sign up.
Yeah, you sign up. Yeah, you sign up to do life together. That joint is very serious. Dang, I'm telling y'all all my business, but you know,
I have that effect on people.
Yeah, no, safe space. Again, you would not be in my room if I didn't feel like you were a safe space for that. But you know, my parents were together 40+ years. I saw both my parents growing up.
Fantastic.
I seen them do love, but they weren't married, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my mom passed in 2019, and my dad is now married to my wonderful bonus mom.
Mom.
Yeah.
Like a prize.
I used to call her stepmom, and then one day she hit me with, "There are no steps between us." And I said, "Sis, you ate that."
You earned.
I said, "Sis, you ate that." So
you earned that title.
I came up with bonus mom, but I say that to say, like, every day, and you know, we talk about like parenting our parents.
Yeah.
And I'm literally on the phone giving my dad marriage advice. I've never been married, you know, but I'm giving marriage advice, and it's because, and I say that to say, not for my credit, but like saying, like, my dad he didn't know what marriage meant. He didn't know that there was still work on the other side. He didn't know how he would have to show up. And so sometimes I'm telling my dad, like, you being a man, having a penis or having a job, it's not enough, bro. Like, you have to talk. You have to express yourself. A lot of the issues issues that they have is like due to my dad not saying that he likes steak, not meatloaf. And that's not a real thing, but you know what I mean? It's like simple shit like that.
I feel exactly what
He's
you're
like,
saying.
because she just don't get it. She just talk too much. Well, did you tell her that you only eat steak? No. So how's she supposed to know?
Right.
But that's called work. That's called vulnerability, because you also, when I say I only eat steak, it's like when you tell somebody you love McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gotta be ready for you eat that.
Right.
But I love McDonald's so much. I have a relationship with it that I am not shading.
Listen,
Your judgment does not.
Right. My
You've never
relationship
had
with
a good
McDonald's
Big.
got nothing to do with you.
You've never had a good Big Mac. I get it. You've never sat in. Shout out to Sunrisa. You've never sat in the car with a friend, eating McDonald's and giggling. You've never done that. I'm sorry.
Right.
That has nothing to do with me.
Right.
But yeah, but it's work. It's vulnerability. It's
and
you have
probably
you have to put it up.
If he's been in a relationship for 40 years,
Yeah.
it's probably a lot that probably didn't have to be said between your mom and your dad.
Oh, for sure.
Because they knew each other for a long period of time.
For sure.
And you know, you're used to doing a relationship a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Then you find a new person. Now you have to remember and realize this person is not the last person, and not just that, but I can't do relationships the same way
That's something
as
too.
I've been doing. So I may not have been able to tell my other partner that I like steak because she might have already known.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now
She might have also not even known. She might have not even questioned.
That's right too. Like it would have been.
Baby, you like steak? I love steak.
Like it would have been good enough for her to not have to question, or
Exactly.
for to not have to talk much or do any of those things. But with
For
this
sure.
partner, it's not the same.
You have to explain why you like steak.
Exactly. And when you have new relationships, there's new ways of dealing in that relationship, and it's all a learning curve. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And once, especially because the good thing is, he's not just being like, you know, it's my way and that's it.
No,
like,
no.
but
He's trying
willing
his hardest.
to figure it out. Like
My dad's a
okay.
Capricorn, so he can be very stubborn. So
Okay.
he's really trying.
He's trying his hardest to climb.
That's what I remember. Every time I'm talking to him on the phone, I'm like, he is trying.
Right.
He may not be responding the way you want him to, but he's going to get it right. And then he calls me like 2 weeks later, and he's like, you know, remember? Pop is like my family nickname, so he'd be like, you know, Pop, when you said that like 2 weeks ago, you was right. That made sense. It worked out, because now we're about to go to IHOP. Like, they're going on a date. Like, you know, that's like his
Right.
version, like, oh, yeah, we got a date.
Right.
It's like, you had to do something to get that date.
Man, shout out to the simple dates too. Like,
Simple dates, yeah.
I know so many people have put this pressure based off of a lot of them were fake videos and fake podcasts.
Oh,
online,
got you.
Where people are like, if my man take me to Cheesecake Factory or IHOP, then I'm going home or whatever.
Mhm.
But you know, for
That's
all
why
the
she's-
people who love Cheesecake Factory or love doing those things, like shout out to those things. I don't also want to put down, because some people may not like Cheesecake Factory or may have certain preferences or requirements,
yeah.
which is also fine. But I just know it became popularized for a hot minute based off of
For sure.
proven fake videos that people made that were not real. They were not actually going on a date, and someone took them to Cheesecake Factory and they went
Yeah.
home. They were fake videos.
Mhm.
But shout out to people who can still go to IHOP and be like, yeah, man, this is a nice date. We had a good talk. I ate some pancakes. You know, we had the 2 for 2 for 2 or whatever, and enjoyed
Oh my
our
God,
time.
I love the split decision at IHOP is amazing.
Right.
But no, you're right, because I think, I don't know what I think. I try not to talk about other people's relationships, because everyone does. I like talking about relationships because everyone does it differently.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part. But yeah, I want everyone to get what they want out of relationships with other people. I do. But I do think that people are in relationship in ways they think they don't. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. And I say that again. I say that as a person who grew up with both their parents. Like, so I saw like commitment and love. Right? It wasn't perfect, but I know what it looks like to choose someone, their flaws and all, their BS, and stick it out and do it. You know what I mean? So, and that's work too. So, because some people say, well, at least you have both your parents. I have both of them, but I also recognize that they messed up and they're human.
Right.
So now I have to do extra work now because I see that love is a possibility, but I also have to correct the wrongs, right? So there's no like right or wrong. It's just we all have work to do. We all have work to do. And we should all just be going to Cheesecake Factory so we don't be hungry.
Right. Come on.
Because people make bad decisions when they're hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I do.
At the end of the day, man, we're on a rock spinning around the sun,
Yes.
flying through the universe.
Is it round or flat?
To me, that shit's round.
Okay. I mean, I didn't care what you said, but I was just talking about that too. And I was like, it's round.
It's round.
And I was just...
There's also a misconception that a lot of people back in the days thought that the earth was flat.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them thought it was round. Just so y'all know. But I think that bitch round. And we going around.
I mean...
And we flying through the universe. Everything is chaos.
Energy goes like this.
And
It's
yeah,
not
like...
energy. But I mean, if we
just
don't...
to say we don't know what we doing, man. We all trying to figure this shit out.
But also, if we don't take care of the planet and global warming, this shit might be flat in a bit. Global warming actually might make it flat. No shit.
Right.
Mother Nature might just be like, you know what? Yeah, y'all don't want to listen.
Right. Look like Asgard.
And then we're all in the same. What's that movie? Everywhere.
Everything, everywhere, all
That's
at
gonna
once.
be us. That's gonna be the world.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, wait, how am I in China at the same time while I'm in Atlanta? Because they
Right.
about to mush this shit together.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah, I didn't even expect to go all this way. So, let me ask you this. How'd you get into photography? You're from New York.
Yeah, I'm
too.
from New
You're
York,
from
the Bronx.
BX. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with pride too.
With all the pride.
With so much pride.
I was right there. I'm from Harlem, so
Yeah.
It was a hop, skip, and a jump.
I love
you
where
know?
I'm from. I love being from the Bronx. Anyway, I started photography in college. Like the rest of.
Where'd you go to?
Oh, I went to Parsons New School for Design, the top design school in the world.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, on scholarship. We outside.
Okay.
And I applied a week before the deadline. You know, I'm not bragging, but
And you still got in that beat.
the work speaks for itself.
Right.
But nah. So I started taking, not even taking. I started doing photography in college. Like everyone else in college, I was taking a bunch of pictures of them and their friends at the clubs
Yeah.
and posting 200 photos on Facebook. That's when we used to put 200 photos in one album. And I was doing that for a while, and then my mom randomly ordered me a camera, and she was like, "You be doing that picture stuff, I think." And I've been an artist my whole life, so it wasn't a surprise. But she bought me the camera.
Let them know. Talk that shit.
Nah, it's the
You
truth.
said it
It's
wasn't a surprise.
Not at
man.
all,
You
not at
already
all.
Knew I was the shit.
down, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was taking pictures, and then one day, shout out to Sasha and Sable. They're these beautiful, wonderful twins and friends of mine back in New York who, at the time, were starting their modeling career. And they randomly wrote me on Facebook and said, "How much do you charge?" And I said, "For what? What do I do?" And they said, "For photography, we want you to take photos of us." And I asked a friend who had been taking photos for a while, because he had a longer resume, his price was a little wild. I was like, this is my first one. I ain't charging that. I
Right.
forgot what I charged, but we had this wonderful photo shoot in the city, and we went to this park, and it was so beautiful. And it's just beautiful how like God does things, because at the time when we were in the park taking photos, there were a group of monks visiting. And so I had the girls like sit with the monks and sort of like run behind them, because if you can imagine visually, like the monks are in all orange,
Yeah.
just
right.
like this sea of orange, and these beautiful black girls are just like running with them. So it was like beautiful
That's
photos.
a good color contrast.
Nah, it was lit. But now, like, being a fan of Jay Shetty, who has shared his testimony around being a monk for a long time, and just like how I practice minimalism, like all these things, I'm just like, ugh, like all that stuff was happening. So yeah, I've been
Right,
doing
it was in front of you without
the
you
whole
even
time,
really
like all the things.
recognizing it. Yeah.
So yeah, so I've been doing photography for over 10 years. I'm 35.
Hey.
Yeah, I just turned 35. And but I did take a 2-year break because everyone started putting photographer in their bio, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Said, hold up. I gotta separate myself. From
Yeah, I
y'all
did.
niggas
Yeah,
real
so I
quick.
stepped away.
Right, y'all think y'all photographers.
But stepping away is what held space for my relationship with God to grow, and then that's how I started learning my gifts around like being able to be prophetic and be an empath, like what that really means, and that's sort of the beginning of steps of like life coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So, it made room for another gift or another talent to show up.
What made you step into the life coaching thing? Like, what made you decide, like, oh yeah, I have this thing that I need to give to people?
Okay, so the real answer is that I've always had that gift. I've always had the gift as a kid, like being able to feel, see, hear
Let them know.
people. That I'm a feeler. I'm sensitive. I'm emotional. I'm those words. Like those are big parts of my like personalities. And then how did it happen? So like I don't like to say I definitely didn't grow up in church, but I went to church as a kid. Definitely knew I was different. Definitely knew that the place I was going wasn't in support of how I felt about myself. And so that's why I never say I grew up in church. But as an adult, I returned to church and found God for myself, which then led to interesting, like, I find God and then I end up like reading tarot. So then I become a tarot reader.
Right.
And so I'm reading tarot, but the whole time that I'm reading tarot, I'm also at the end of my readings, I'm like sharing sermons though. So I'm not like telling people to go meditate or do the spiritual guidelines that we see on Instagram every day. I'm not recommending Reiki. I'm like recommending a sermon by T.D. Jakes or Sarah J. or like Devon Franklin or something. And so God is like still present in my stuff. So long story short, tarot like takes over my life in a harmful way, where I become, like I said, I was already an empath and I'm already available and open.
You felt like you became dependent on it?
Not dependent on it. I mean, I'm sure there's a part of that,
Yeah.
but in terms of like the financial part, but the energies were dependent of me. There were times I was in an Uber ride. This is when like Uber shared was still new.
Yeah.
And like I could be in an Uber ride and I know that the person that just got in the car wants me to ask them about their day. And I would be on the door like hanging on the door like, I am not in the mood,
right?
Like to engage with that spirit. It's not even them. It's like their spirit wants to be seen.
I just want to go home.
I want to go home, but it would make me so uncomfortable. And so I end up like stop reading tarot. I get back in my word. I continue to grow with God, and then I come across videos of life coaching and what that means. And I remember that I came across this video during the pandemic. And this woman, Latoya Okia, she said at the end, she was like, you might be a life coach if you're just someone that everyone goes to. And that's like basic. But then she said, if you're the person that, if you're online at the grocery store and the person just starts telling you their story, and I'm like, that lady talking to me. Because that happens. That's one of my gifts. It's like a pro and a con to being me because, I'm very much a homebody because I'm fully aware that when I go outside, I will have to talk to someone. I do not have, going back to what we were talking about, freedom, I don't have God does not play. I don't have the freedom to ignore someone that is literally, their eyes are on me. I have to compliment them. I have to ask them how their day is going. And I know that might sound strange to someone who doesn't make themselves available to that or has a strong boundary around people and strangers and things. But for everyone watching that understands, like, you cannot turn that shit off. And so when she said that, I took her little free course, and I was like, I'm going to just start. And so I started by doing TikTok videos, which is so crazy because I only started making TikTok videos. I didn't even like my voice for a long time. So the fact that I'm even doing this podcast is just a testament to time. I didn't even like my voice, but I was dating this guy a couple of years ago, and he only this is so bad. He only did not he only, because only is very definite, but he would often do a lot of voice notes versus texting, which I later found out was because he was dating other people. But through the voice notes, I learned how to get comfortable with hearing my voice, because I'm recording, I'm saying good morning to him, I'm asking him questions. And when we first started dating, I would say all the time on the voice notes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, how you doing? And I just want, just let me know if you still want to do dinner. So I didn't like my voice, and I was like upset with how it was coming out. But it was training. It was training. And so when we broke up, that's when I started making videos, and I was like, you know what? It's because I was talking your ass. I grew to like my voice. So again, going back to relation, you got to be willing to give up. Oh, look at this conversation, doing this.
It comes full circle.
Yeah, just like the earth.
Indeed.
Not being flat. Shout out to B.O.B. You know, he thinks the world is flat.
Yeah, I remember that. But
he's not smart. He's really smart.
I think sometimes that's what happens with people that are really smart. I think they get too smart.
Yeah.
They start digging into shit too much.
There's wormholes
for
sure.
They try to rework everything. It's
my God.
Man, you don't gotta rework it, nigga. Like
it's a wheel.
It's cool. You know, the earth is round. We're here. It's fine.
And even if it's not, you play no part in it having a shape.
What does it mean even if it is flat? Nigga?
You have no role in it.
You're
still cheating on your girlfriend. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, niggas are still cheating. People are still not texting back.
Yes. Like, come on.
What is the flat world doing?
People
it's
are
not helping.
Ghosting motherfuckers.
In a flat world, you ghosted me? I would rather you ghost.
Still not putting $5 in the tank when you give them a ride.
I would rather you ghost me in a round world, because then I know that you're like floating other places. But to ghost me in a flat world means I can see you.
One plane is too much of a...
I'm gonna see you again, ghost.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh shit, maybe the world is flat, because we do be seeing people that ghost us.
Yeah, that's just that's a little thing I like to call karma, or
or coincidence.
Coincidence.
Yeah. You meant that.
What?
The way you said it. You said coincidence. You meant that.
I
love
coincidence.
That. I love that.
I did mean that. So, damn, now I forgot what I was about to ask you.
I don't know.
It's all good. It wasn't meant. It fell out my head.
None of it was planned anyway.
Right. But no, this has been a really good conversation so far. I never know what to expect. I just be like, I'm gonna ask them this, and this. But most of the times while I'm setting up, we start talking. I'm always talking to the people, and they start saying stuff, and I'll be like, hold that thought. Just hit record.
I know.
We start going on about whatever we were already talking about. It kind of makes it easy.
Yeah, it makes it natural, because we don't want no pretending stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want whatever I have to say to just be like or my plan to be the thing. That's the thing about plans too. They're guidelines. They're not rules. They're not, definitive. It's just, here's what I want to do. You start doing it. I forgot what movie it was. There was like they were coming up with some elaborate plan, or whatever, and then they were like, he was like, first rule of the plan, you do this, you do that, and then they started doing the plan, and they was like, okay, what's the next rule of the plan? And he was like, throw away the plan, because the plan started getting fucked up.
It changes.
Yeah, so then it's like, throw away the plan. Now we're doing this, you know what I'm saying? Plan D or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because that's sort of what happens. We all have an idea of what we want to do, but then once you start actually doing the thing, and you start realizing like, oh, okay, like maybe that, maybe this needs to be readjusted, a tad bit here and there. Take this out, add this in.
And it's still connected to Plan A.
Yeah, exactly.
It just kind of meets Plan L by accident.
Yeah, exactly.
And also that's by choice too, right? Because sometimes you even got to get to you don't even have to get that far, but we're human. We have flaws.
Yes.
We do our best. We do our best.
Some of us are doing our best.
Nah, everyone's doing their best. Just better than others.
I like that. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah,
We're all doing our best. Some of us are just doing our best better than others.
Yeah, you always got to give credit, because I never want to be a hater. You don't want to be a hater. You just want to always give niggas credit from. You gotta give credit, even if you give credit from afar.
Right.
You gotta be like, that's not how I would do it. But you doing it.
I'm quite like you in the sense of like you said. I'm a homebody too. I kind of and niggas get on my nerves sometimes. So
Oh my god, yeah.
I just gotta, like you said, just do it from a distance.
Do it from a distance.
Yeah, cause I don't know.
Yeah, people are trying their best, and you gotta remember that you're also trying your best.
Is that the Wiz soundtrack?
Absolutely,
Oh,
that's my favorite movie in the world.
It is.
Well,
what do you love about the movie?
Oh my god, you're trying to make me cry now. That's what you're trying to do.
I didn't know I was about to.
Yeah, that's the spot. That film is like, oh my god, so important. So, and I recently shared this in a post, but before art, my first love was singing.
Ooh.
Yes, and so singing. So me and my family watch that movie all the time. We can literally front to back. And as a kid, I would sing the finale song, which is "Home."
Yeah.
That Diana Ross was singing, but in that one, that's Stephanie Mills. But
what? Really?
She did the Broadway play.
So that's based off the play.
Yeah, the play.
It does say the musical.
Yeah, the musical.
There.
So she did that.
Okay.
Diana, the musical came out first. That was Stephanie Mills, and then Diana Ross did the film.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes. So I would sing. The finale song all the time to my mom and grandma, like on repeat, just like, look at me sing, watch me sing. But the film is about, not only does it take place in New York, which is amazing, but it's about discovering everything we talked about. Honestly, no shade. It was really about like community, friends, learning, evolving, separating yourself from like what you know, right? Like Oz was a place that she couldn't have even imagined.
Right.
Like she couldn't. That was crazy. But she became like her best version there, which I also relate to because again, I said I was singing this song when I was younger, but before, when I was a kid, I used to tell my mom when I turned 30, that I'm not gonna live in our apartment. I come from the Bronx. I come from the hood.
Yeah.
Like niggas come from a place where you could stay there literally until you die if you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
a lot of people stay
so when I moved,
homes.
I actually still have my apartment in the Bronx. My mom actually left it to me.
That's dope.
Yeah, my older brother lives there now. So we still have those core memories and things, but to the story I'm telling, I said that as a kid, like when I turn 30, I'm not gonna be here. And I remember her being like, where are you gonna go? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm just not gonna be here. And it wasn't in no like rebellious. It was just like a knowing. And legit, I turned 30 in Atlanta when I moved here for the first time. And I do think, and my mom passed a week before I turned 30. Yes. And I believe that she knew, like God just knew that I had done what I said I was going to do. And she was here long enough to see me do it. Because I have and I was just telling this to someone, I have a card that she wrote me when she was alive. And she wrote, like, I'm happy you're in Atlanta.
Really?
That joint meant the world to me. Like, I'm the youngest, like, and she didn't give me no pushback when I moved or anything. But, you know, she was concerned as a parent is. But to see it written down, like, I'm happy you're there, oh my gosh. That joint tore me apart. I was like, what? This is an adult. I'm like, yo, I'm an adult. It was the first time I felt like my mom saw me as a man and not a boy.
It's like
She accepted the decision I had made, and I was like, whoa, this is wild.
And that's when you come to terms with, like, your children being their own person.
Yeah.
It's like then you can start becoming happy for who they want to be.
Yeah. We're resilient. Have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme?
No.
You ever seen that meme where there's this like tweet or meme where the person's like, I just had a but also, you know what also was really funny is that's for me that sound represented
The gunshot.
that represented my mom's energy. That for me, that's what that meant to me.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't jump or like react, because I'm like, for me that meant like she can hear me talking about it, and she's like, you're right. I do respect you as a man. I see you, but there's this meme that says, I just did an interview and they were shooting in the background, and the interviewer could hear it, and then I said in the interview, well, as you can tell, I'm really resilient. So yeah, shout out to resilience, which is also what that film is about.
That is a great response to that, and I have to say that because we are resilient. That is exactly right.
We are.
And now, you know, because like you said, coming from the places that you
Yeah.
come from, it does help you to build that that bone, that muscle.
Yeah, you do. Definitely have a bone.
Of resilience. You definitely have a bone.
You definitely have a bone.
My
Man,
knee bone's connected to my resilience bone.
for real, shout out.
Because I stand on that.
10 toes down. That was only 5 fingers, but y'all know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, the other one is still in
snap!
front.
If you showed 10 fingers, I would drop the mic. That's crazy. You should end the episode like that.
10
Standing on business. Nah.
But you were saying
yeah,
that's what that.
yeah,
said,
that movie
the
just
movie
means
is about
everything.
resilience.
Yes. It's about resilience, it's about love, it's about family and friends, and
Yeah, because to me, when you get to the end of the movie, and to me, it's realizing that Oz was there the whole time. You know what I mean?
that's what Glenda says. Yeah.
Right. Like it was always there. You were always who you were
Right.
in Oz here. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? You didn't need all of that. You just went there to find it
Yeah.
and realize, like, oh, I'm coming back home.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything is home. Like,
Everything is home.
in me. And
Mhm.
and this fantastical, like, element that I was looking for, everything, like, it is fantastical.
It was already that.
And I had to come back to that in me.
Yeah.
you know
And
what
even
I'm
what we
saying?
were talking about earlier about being able to like give advice but not take it is like when Dorothy is in Oz, she's affirming the line. She's affirming the Scarecrow. She affirms the Tin Man. And they've already had these things.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know how to be a leader. I don't know. Where do I go next? I don't know.
Right.
But she's leading the entire time.
The entire time they're following her.
She's a leader the whole time. She even
Right.
kills the witch. Like, you know, and in a way that, which is also a metaphor. I didn't even think about that too. But it's like, yeah, just like with kindness and like being sly. You know what I mean? She didn't have to like kill her, You know what I mean?
Right.
It didn't have to be violent.
That reminds
She
me
just
of,
melted, you know?
That reminds me of that that Boondocks episode.
Tell me about it.
Stink Meaner.
Tell me about it.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did? Okay. So, I don't know, for those of you out there that remember this episode, with the granddad backs into this old man's car, and he's blind.
Yeah.
And, they're yelling back and forth, and the narration is all about what's called nigga moments.
Oh.
And how, like, nigga moments can be sparked by any little thing. And it comes when you least expect it. And so when Granddad backs into his car and Stink Meaner is, like, yelling at him, and he's like, oh, come on, you backed into my car. He's like, that's right, nigga. I backed into your car. What you gonna do, nigga? What you gonna do? And he was like, well, I hope you got insurance. He's like, I hope you got ass-whooping insurance because you about to pay a deductible. And, like, him and Stink Meaner beats him up, and he's blind. But he took it as a hit to his ego. Like, I got beat up by an old blind man.
Yeah.
Now I need to get my get back. So he went to his grandson because he knows, like, martial arts to teach him how to fight. And he calls, like, this, he gets him and the fight between the old man sanctioned in the state, and they do a sanctioned boxing match.
Ridiculous.
But then what his grandson realized before it was too late was, like, or when it was too late, was that, oh, this old man is just blind and got lucky and beat your ass. But he's a disabled blind man, and you have to fight him. And he was trying to stop the fight, but he died. The old man died in the fight.
Oh my God.
Then in the next season, Stink Meaner comes back from hell. He worked his way up from being like a low-ranking demon all the way up so he could come back and
This
get
is all in the Boondocks?
Yes, but this was in the second season.
Ridiculous.
So then Stink Meaner comes back to get revenge and is sparking nigga moments. He possesses Tom, one of the other characters, who's like this put together black dude. He's a lawyer, but he's married a white woman. He's a Boondocks type of dude. So he barely has nigga moments, but Stink Meaner was sparking these nigga moments in him. And at the end of the episode, they capture him and they're trying to figure out how to send him back to hell. And they're like trying to, like, do exorcism, do all this stuff, and it's not working. What the ghost of who was it again? Ghostface, the rapper, came to them to, like, give them a message from heaven to, like, tell him, like, this is what you need to do. And at the end of he kept telling him at the end of each sentence, peace. But he thought he was just saying, like, peace out.
Yeah.
But then he realized, like, oh, he's saying the way to kill nigga moments is peace. So they sent Stink Meaner back to hell by him and Granddad bonding over there. It's funny because it's technically hate, but they were talking about how they don't like rap music. And because they're two older dudes. But they bonded with each other. So because they were able to find common peace between the old men, it sent Stink Meaner back to hell. Long roundabout way to say.
No, but what peace. I get what you're saying. And it's also proof how God will use anything.
Right.
God will use the thing you don't like to help you.
Exactly.
Because you said they didn't like rap, but God used Ghostface.
Right. Bro. I didn't even get that part.
Yeah.
Dude. See, there you go.
Ding. Church chorus. I'm sorry.
Right.
You know the funny part is that you actually know what keys those are. That's the funniest part.
Not on the organ, but on the bass I do.
But that's even enough. Like, most of us are just pretending like, oh, you're like, oh no, that's a B minor.
Yeah.
I'm
not that good. My ear isn't that good. But if I could have my bass, I'd be able to tell you.
Got you.
Yeah. But no, that's
But yeah.
Boondocks is top tier. And when they brought it back for the 4th season, they didn't have the original creator on there, and I don't know. I think it was pretty decent, but you know.
I used to draw those characters in my sketchbook all the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because also, like, that was like early forms of representation.
That's true.
It was like, oh my god, look at all this hair.
The fact that they were even in comic
It was
strips.
mad
too.
hair. Yeah.
Right, the afro.
The afros were huge.
And the
like,
fact that Huey was named after Huey
Yeah.
Newton and stuff. So.
and they wore, I always love cartoons because they wear the same thing. That's why I'm a minimalist too. All my favorites are just like people that wear like Ash. I'm a big
Right.
Pokemon fan. Like Ash is wearing the same thing. That nigga could get burnt by Charizard 1,000 times.
And he still
got that vest.
Cap on. That same
I think he only
snapback.
changed to like go swimming sometimes.
Yeah, like they would have the shorts.
But outside of that, he was in the same stuff.
Right. And Brock's horny ass.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brock.
It was always flirting with the women's.
I mean, he was a. Oh, that's. I was about to say something inappropriate. That's crazy. But yeah. Shout out to Brock.
The funny thing is, we all mostly wear the same thing.
Yeah.
Unless you just got bred like that, or your closet is just that.
And also the people
you
with
know.
the people with bread, they don't have style. They just have designer clothes on.
Tell 'em.
There's no style. Style is different than fashion.
Fuck that shit.
It's
Tell
true.
'em.
You
Y'all
could.
bums with money.
Okay.
You're bums with money. That's it.
That's
Tell
crazy.
'em.
That's not what I said.
That's what I heard.
That is, I'm literally like, that's what you got? That's the Harlem in you. You know,
Right.
niggas in Harlem can really dress too.
Right.
And niggas in Harlem will definitely be like, why the fuck you got that old shit on?
You're right.
I love that.
Right.
That was your Harlem that jumped out.
We moved past that, nigga. We're not wearing that.
We niggas, them shits came out last month.
No, but I agree. A lot of people, I do think people lean too much on the brand or the tag as opposed to the style. Because you
Yeah.
can make anything stylish no matter what the
Anything.
fuck the name on it is. I've seen people walk down the street with fucking Walmart clothes on and you could be like, damn, that shit's stylish.
Walmart
Because
got
they
the
know
stuff.
how to put it together.
Mhm.
Or Target clothes.
Yeah, I love Target.
Yeah, I like their
The graphic tees are crazy. They're perfect.
They've got some of the best ones.
Yeah, they really
It's
do.
funny because people will see some of my graphic tees and they'll be like, bro, where'd you get that? It's like Target.
Target. They want you to say thrift so bad.
Right. It's like, nah, son, Target. It was like $10.
Also, remember when thrift was like not the thing?
Bro, that, yeah, because I forgot who I was talking to. It wasn't you. Thank you. That's my wife. But it was, I think it was Shaq, the person I had on the last podcast,
Yeah.
where we were talking about clothes and how, I think we was kind of talking about the same thing with fashion or style and how you put stuff together. And I was saying how I remember going to the thrift store was a bad thing. Like,
No,
people would
yeah,
be like,
Goodwill,
oh, you went
Salvation
to-
Army, those were bad places to go.
Yeah, because people thought it was trashy or bad.
You
like,
didn't have
you
money.
can't afford,
Mhm.
you know, the new shit. But then fashionable people was like, oh, if the shit was fashionable when the person was fucking wearing it before they gave it up for, you know, to charity or
Yeah,
whatever.
for sure. Donation.
Donation, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Then why is it not still fashionable? Like, just because it's old. And then people realize, yeah, I was kind of being dumb. when I
Yeah.
said that.
Also, the other stuff,
you know.
I get it. We live in a world. The other stuff gives you attention. I was just watching a podcast earlier where the young lady shared how the host actually, she shared how they were talking about relationships and dating. She was saying how she noticed that, you know, she wears her hair natural. She has locks, but for her birthday she wore like a wig, and she was like, yeah, niggas was in my DM when I had the birthday wig on, but you know, I'm still the same girl all the time. And it's just like, I say that to say like with the designer stuff or fashion or brands, people are doing it for like attention, and it does bring you a bit of validation.
Yeah, it can, but that's because our social currency is built on that. If it was built on something else, then that wouldn't be the thing.
A flat world.
Exactly, in a flat world.
In a flat world.
Actually, I think I might just wrap it up. Well, how long we been going?
Yeah, I think we're done. No, I think we're done.
Okay. You gotta go get him now? All right, fine. I still might end it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's cool.
But
I love it. Are you gonna
gotta
keep
go
that?
pick up my son. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I love that. That's real life.
It's raw. I'm
Yes.
kind of like a little, I'm not a very polished person. So it's that happens.
I
it's a
love
part
it.
of
Your
life.
wife is gonna get your son.
Right, and she just told me and interrupted the podcast.
Yes,
It's
but she also didn't interrupt it. She's also bringing life to it.
Right, exactly. She added to it. She was trying to be nice about it, but
Life
that's what happens. You move, you interrupt the podcast. It's a part of it. Why would I take it out?
And we live in a round world.
Come on, son. You gotta let these niggas know. We live in a fucking round-ass world.
We live in a round world. Why would my wife not leave to go get my son while I'm working? Because she loves and supports the work that I do.
And there goes the sound of my vehicle.
I love it. Because you're resilient.
Resilient.
That car is resilient. I can't even drive, so you can tell me to shut the fuck up.
Damn,
But that car,
that's that New York.
that car is resilient as fuck, bruh.
Yeah. I just gotta replace the belt.
Joel said it was singing, and it's all love though. Wow, look at the note change.
I need a tonight.
Okay, now you really gotta end the episode because why would you show off like that?
Well, that's what I got, so I gotta do it.
That was good. Whitney would be proud.
Nah, she wouldn't. I didn't do it the best I could have.
She still would have.
up today. The vocals.
You ever seen that clip of? We keep saying we're gonna end, but
that's supposed to be bad for retention too. They're always like, just end the video decisively, but fuck that.
the clip of. And then the last thing I'm saying, but the clip of Whitney and Brandy on they're working on the songs for Cinderella. It's like behind the scenes footage, and they're singing together in the studio. And Brandy sings a certain note, and Whitney's like, "Why are you down there?"
No.
And Brandy's like, "Sis," basically you can see in her face, it's like, "I am not you."
Right.
Like I can sing, but I am not you. But
no, Brandy is fucking.
it's just so.
crazy.
I mean, she's the vocal
She
Bible.
is exactly.
But it's
as
funny.
they say.
But it's funny being corrected by Whitney Houston, like, that's not the right note, but it's also like, girl, you are the pinnacle. So,
Right. Is that a Lou Rawls record?
give me a little grace. Yeah, it is. I only chose that one because I really like the color of it.
No, I like it too. No, Lou Rawls is nice too. There's this clip.
And the Eddie Murphy one, look at that nigga's haircut. That's wild.
Damn, son.
I had
Slick
to
as fuck.
get that. I was like, that's how I just want to feel in life.
Right.
Look how he feels.
Put your mouth on me.
Is that what it says?
Is that what it says?
Oh my gosh. Eddie,
I
relax.
love it.
And you know Eddie got like 10 kids for real.
Yeah.
So
His wife is beautiful too.
wise.
Wives, but his current wife.
Oh, his current wife, yes,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he has taste.
Yeah.
Down. He dated Spice Girl. One of his ex-partners is Mel B, the Spice Girl.
Yeah, yes.
He has
Yes, he has to.
he has taste.
But no, that Lou Rawls. You ever seen that clip, that video of him singing? I think he was. It was like an award ceremony for his record hitting platinum.
Yeah.
And he was singing the "You'll Never Find" song, and there was one point in the performance where he got like something. I don't know if something got caught in his throat, or his throat was dry or something, but he had to cough. And he was just having a coughing fit, and it was the way like he.
Like,
it was just funny. Yeah,
it was bounced back.
It was funny how it happened. Anyway.
It was just a real
I'm not
moment.
explaining it
No,
well,
but it was just a real moment of a star, like having this celebratory moment. But then the voice said, "Not right now."
Right. Like I think it was on that part. He's like, "Oh, I'm not bragging on myself, baby."
And that's where the cough came.
And, but I know somehow, some way, yeah. And then it was like, "You're gonna miss my love." And he started coughing right there. He's like,
Well,
"You're gonna miss my love."
Well, you see how high that note is. His voice.
It wasn't that high, because his voice is deep.
Oh, that was just the octave you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think it's probably a little bit lower than what I did.
Which is
not bragging on myself, baby.
which is why Whitney was like, "Why are you down there?"
All right. Anyways, we're gonna end this fucking.
Okay, this has been amazing. You're amazing. Thank you, friend, yo.
Thank you.
This is lit.
I appreciate you for being open.
Yeah, no, this is a really good combo.
Yeah, I never know how these things are gonna go. Like I said, I don't know why or how, but I have an effect that makes people want to talk.
You're a life coach.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am.
Maybe you're a life coach.
I'm not quick to put titles on
Titles?
myself,
Yeah.
and I don't like to disrespect what people do.
Yeah.
By
No,
just
for
calling
sure.
myself shit. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, that's why I don't go by videographer. I make visualizers.
There we go.
Do not. I am not making you a music video. I am making you a video that includes music.
Right.
But yeah.
So for all the musicians out there calling yourself musicians, disrespect. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna go there. So I don't like to put disrespect people's stuff and put titles.
Everyone's
on.
trying their best. Relax.
You're right. My bad. Relax.
God dang. Say something nice before it goes off.
But I appreciate all the people that have these titles that do a very good job.
There we go.
You know, are professional, that work hard
Yeah.
at their crafts.
At their craft and study.
And you know, look within themselves to be the best they can motherfucking be.
Cheers to being your best version.
Cheers to that. And yeah, you know, I started a Patreon for all of those who saw the last one. I did this announcement, but I'm gonna do it every time. So I started a Patreon. I've got like my music on there. It's only 2 songs. I'll upload more when I can sit down and do it. I'm gonna put these podcasts on there. I'm gonna put other stuff on there. Yeah, but I have a Patreon, the Imperishable Patreon. Go
Support,
check it out.
support.
Under there. I'm not rich, and I'm doing all this by myself. All the editing, the recording, and on top of that, being a dad and all that.
You're rich in life. That's what I was going to say. You're not rich in money, but you're rich in life. You have a wife, a beautiful son with mad charisma. You need to interview your son.
I've actually got a couple clips of him.
Jesus Christ.
Talking on
Charisma? Not he's more, you know how people, when people have, especially like when little kids have charisma, they be like, you're a star. He is surpassed.
He is just out there.
A person. He is a literally full human being at his small age.
He is the universe that holds the star, because he is.
He is not flat.
The stars.
He is not. Nah, your son is not flat. He is full around, full of energy. But yeah, no.
Indeed. But if y'all want to help me support this young star, this young universe that I have, then pay me fucking money and sign up for my Patreon. You know, it's only $11. You could also just, if you want to just download the music or whatever, you can do that for $3. But I'm also going to find other perks to add to the Patreon account, like collaborations with people on music, on videos. I'm also going to do like solo videos of me like talking about things, you know, whatever topics I have, kind of video essay style. Like I said, I don't like to put titles on shit, but it'll be like the style or vein of video essays.
For sure.
And those will be on there. People that want to suggest topics for video essays, or that want to ask questions, or things that they want to discuss on the podcast, that will only be open to motherfuckers who are on the Patreon. So
private,
exactly.
exclusive content.
All them things. So
All
thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Curtis. Where can everyone find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at I am Curtis Bryant. That's IAM Curtis like 50 Cent, Bryant like Kobe.
Hey.
Follow me.
Yo.
And book me. What's
Book
up?
him.
Get a photo. Take a photo.
Book him up, because he's definitely taking pictures for me, and I love his style.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah, your photos were iconic.
Oh, thank you.
That was crazy. They weren't ready for that.
I don't think so.
That was wild.
I wasn't even ready.
Yeah, you weren't, but everybody else was like, oh,
Yeah, like, damn, that's Parrish?
that's Parrish. And that is Parrish.
That is true.
Cheers.
So, yeah, guys, thank you and goodbye. See you later.